There was a fitness scare about Bagni, but he's starting the game. Napoli haven't scored in their last 2 matches, so they'll look particularly to Diego Maradona, who has a special visitor today. His good friend, a former international teammate, Osvaldo Ardiles, who's flown in to watch after playing for Tottenham Hotspur yesterday. So the 2 coaches take their seat, Marchesi and Bianchi. Juventus are hit by injuries, which deprive them of Antonio Cabrini and Michael Laudrup. And Sergio Brio, the giant defender, is suspended. The replacements are Pioli, Caricola, and 17-year-old Renato Buzo. Favaro, the number 2, is likely to be given the task of marking Maradona. Well, will a season's work here go up in smoke for Napoli? The title is there to grasp. They've played 23 matches. They've lost only 2. Maradona's influence has been supreme. Many people's champions designate against the champions of 1986. And Caffarelli suddenly finding a yard of space in the opening seconds. The pitch is sodden, but the atmosphere here is electric. Undoubtedly the match of the season, with Napoli having won in Turin, beating Juventus 3-1 back in November. That really laid down their credentials for winning the title. But with a club who've never won the title before, like Napoli, you can never be sure how the nerves will stand the strain. But they are the top scorers in the first division. They've got the best defensive record. And they sweep forward again with Romano, who's been an inspired signing this season from Triestina. Mauro. But while Napoli have been blazing a trail, Juventus really have been out of sorts much of the time, although they've been able to chisel out the results. They've only lost 4 times in their 23 matches. But the goals have dried up from Platini. They've had a succession of injuries. And Platini himself says that his striking has lost some of its edge because of the legacy of an injury. Here's Bagni. Well, it was well read by Caricola, and Bagni, who's certainly not 100%, came across and committed the foul. Renica, the sweeper, letting the ball run on to Garella. An extraordinary character, the Napoli goalkeeper, who helped Verona to the title a couple of years ago, and may well move on from here at the end of the season. Volpacina. Well, Napoli have begun the match very positively. Juventus needing the calming influence of Scirea, the captain. And because of the importance of the occasions, the tackles are likely to maybe be over-exuberant. Serena fell awkwardly then and might have twisted himself. De Napoli. Maradona operating as an out-and-out striker with Bruno Giordano. Thrown short by Caparelli. Here's Giordano, couldn't collect. Renica, everything ahead of him. De Napoli, Romano to his right, and De Napoli trying to use the skiddy surface to his advantage. Not going to be easy here for goalkeepers. That did look a foul throw by Caparelli. Favaro. Giordano. Manfredonia was lectured first of all by his teammate Caricola for committing the foul, and then by the referee. I think Caricola knew that he'd got the ball, and you don't want to give away free kicks with Diego Maradona around. Tacconi trying to get the wall to cover that particular post. And Napoli have set a wall of their own. Well, Renica is lurking, and he shoots. Oh, it's gone through him! Tacconi looks in disbelief, and Renica sets off on a run of triumph until he's wrestled to the ground by teammates who really can't believe their good fortune. When you need a goal in a chase for the championship, what a gift that was. 14 minutes played, Napoli in front. Renica's first goal of the season, and what a time to collect it. Favaro making Maradona chase him. Mauro. Platini. Well, they should have stopped him. And maybe he was a little bit surprised. Not scored since October. Beautifully done by Maradona. Paul Pacina had covered the ground to make the pass possible. Romano. Maradona probes away again. Favaro, of course, is there. It's a Juventus throw. Here's Mauro. Inside Romano, but he showed too much of the ball to the eager De Napoli. Renica. Romano. Pacina on the left-hand side of the defence, but he'll gallop forward whenever he can. Romano. Ferrario being asked to stretch to keep the ball in play, and Napoli rather lucky to get it back again with De Napoli. Bagni looking for Giordano. And Favaro lost it. Giordano bursting clear. Good save. Redeeming some of Tacconi's reputation. But Platini played it sloppily because Caparelli was there to make a nuisance of himself to Favaro, and Giordano spotted the opening. Tacconi saved well at the cost of the corner. Well, Volpacina right in the thick of the fray again. And they're relaxing perhaps a little on the Napoli bench. Platini. Good running by Scirea. Well, one sweeper has scored. Scirea playing a part in Juventus striving for the equaliser here, but Napoli standing firm. And Maradona withstanding a real buffeting from Pioli. Giordano. Maradona, was it handball? No, said the referee, and while Juventus were hesitating, Maradona didn't quite produce the final touch that he wanted, but that would have worried those on the Juventus bench. Caffarelli is away. The tackle was late. Caffarelli might have got the cross in a little bit earlier. He had a look to see what was on in the middle. Busso. What a match, really, to find yourself in at 17 years old, but there was no shortage of confidence there until he ran into Volpacina. Busso actually first played earlier this season when he was only 16 and scored at Ascoli, which was the last time that Juventus won a match away from home. That was in October, and that was the match that produced Platini's most recent goal. Manfredonia in the wars, but not waiting for treatment from the touchline. Mauro collecting from Serena. Tripped by Volpacina. He might have got the ball, but he got the man first. Juventus still really trying to recover their rhythm. The nature of the goal they conceded rather jolted them out of their stride. In from Mauro, and Renica, the scorer of the game's only goal so far, diverts it behind for the corner. Well, Rino Marchesi, he might have picked out Gaetano, the first name of Scirea. A message passed from manager to captain. Serena outside of the post, and Garella wants to know why he was allowed to turn, how he was allowed to turn. They stood and watched, and it could have been costly. Keeping balance is not easy on the soaked pitch. Pioli's throw, and Pioli again. Mauro. And Pioli did admirably. Platini couldn't collect the pass, Volpacina was there. But now it's presented back to him, and Serena had a chance and Platini is angry with him. Caffarelli's mistake. Lovely ball in by Platini, it deserved better and he knew it. It is half-time, with Juventus still wondering about the missed opportunity to level the score, having conceded an astonishing goal, an error by Tacconi to let in Renica's free kick. Juventus get the second half underway in the San Paolo Stadium in Naples, and really a season's toil for them hangs on what happens in the next 45 minutes. They're a goal down. They've been a little out of sorts with themselves, with Platini in particular making his frustrations known not just to his teammates but to everyone in this crowd of around 85,000. Do they have the steel to pull the goal back and go on for a win which would keep their place in the championship race alive? They started the day 4 points behind Napoli. If Napoli go on to win, that would be 6 behind with 6 games left. It would be very, very difficult. The first corner of the second half goes to Napoli. Serena was nudged by Ferrara. Napoli's 34 points this season, 18 won at home, 16 away. They are unbeaten throughout this season on this ground, but 6 clubs have come here and drawn. Favro, Bonini. Caricola's cross is an interesting one. Juventus, though, have lacked goal power. Serena's hit a good vein recently. Laudrup, injured today, has only contributed 3 league goals. Maradona. It breaks for Romano, who can shoot, but hit it then off balance, but was more set the second time. It was a great strike and extravagant handling by Tacconi. Well, he's not lost his self-belief. It began to dip. It was awkward for the goalkeeper. He'd have done well to tip it over, but he hung on. Played in by Bonini to Buzo, taken up by Maro. Maro again. Caffarelli doing the defending, but there's no way out at the moment for Napoli. Platini. Hit well, and Garella just got something on the ball. That looked to me as though it was bending back inside the far post. Hit with the outside of the right foot, and yes, the goalkeeper did touch it. Bonini. Good advantage played by the referee. De Napoli. Romano. Romano again. And Favro's doing all the tackling at the moment. Giordano. Scirea in the way. Platini looking around to try and find the killing pass forward, which he's capable of doing. Serena. Busso. 1 against 1, but he didn't want to take Volpacina on. Maro. Difficult moments these for Napoli. Caffarelli trying to run it to safety. Pioli with a quick piece of thinking at the throw. Here's Scirea lending more support to the attack off Renica. Busso. And Platini is onside. It was a pass worthy of the great man himself. Serena scored! 5 minutes into the second half, and it's come close to silencing the crowd. It was a delightful ball from Busso, and they were all played onside by Renica. Platini's cross to the near post. Serena met it splendidly. And it's the signal for Napoli to change the emphasis. Off comes Caffarelli, on comes a striker, Carnevale. Manfredonia. Maro. It has been a bold start to the second half by Juventus, not just the goal, but their whole attitude has a great deal more purpose about it. It didn't run there for Maro. Bagni. Carnevale, the player fouled by Pioli. Ferrara given room to play in the cross. Carnevale is there. Giordano couldn't deal with the bounce. Crowd were disappointed. Bagni. Ferrara. Bagni and Bonini ending up on the ground, but Romano can shoot. Giordano. Out by Scirea. But Juventus have just lost their discipline and their concentration at the moment. Bagni, not offside. Maradona can keep Juventus pressed back in their own area. Carnevale, and it's Romano! They're up off the bench. And those closest to Francesco Romano are paying homage to him. Maradona inevitably involved. Giordano got a flick. Now, was that offside? Carnevale. The linesman said not. And Romano was there, first to the loose ball. Francesco Romano has been one of the real successes of the Napoli season, and he's confirmed that. Briaschi, number 15. Briaschi on for Busso. Well, the substitution worked so well for Napoli, with Carnevali playing a part in them regaining the lead. But it's a goal, I'm sure, that those who are connected to Juventus and follow Juventus would want to see again and again, to question the legality of it. It matters not a jot to Napoli. Who will be trying hard now to avoid the sort of slump in their play that happened at the start of the second half. Caricola. Platini, it's a delightful header, and Serena claimed he was being held. Ferrara was the culprit, if anyone was guilty. Platini put it in. Not much evidence there of a foul. Manfredonia. Too long for Caricola. De Napoli taking the throw quickly. Giordano. Bagni up with him. Juventus were on level terms for a mere 8 minutes. And it must have come like a punch in the solar plexus to go behind again, after clawing their way back into the match. Bonini. Plenty of battle-hardened campaigners out there in the black and white striped shirts, but Cabrini and Laudrup, significant absentees. Cabrini always likely to conjure up a goal coming from the left-back position. Platini trying to do the same, starting on the Juventus right. Caricola there first. Here's Sharea. Manfredonia. Mauro taking over from Caricola. Caricola again. Romano. Napoli at the moment really concentrating overmuch on getting behind the ball and letting Juventus build up, and Manfredonia is tripped by Renica. Prior to this game, Juventus beaten only once in their last 10 matches, and Rino Marchesi is to play his last card here. His second substitute is Vignola, and Bonini making his way off behind the goal. So the more defensive-minded Bonini gives way to a more creative midfield player in Beniamino Vignola, whose number is recorded by referee Pieri. Garella, a study in concentration. Vignola can hit them with his left foot. Platini maybe looking to the other corner with the right. And then drills it into the wall and hits it a second time, no more than a metre wide. Even less, he says. But it was for Platini, once again, the one that got away. Bruscolotti, the vastly experienced defender, a real mean look to him too. Maybe an indication of the policy now for Napoli. And it's Giordano who's coming off, so a striker is replaced by a defender with 22 minutes remaining. Pioli, out-tackled by Romano. The beneficiary was Carnevale. De Napoli, courtesy of a lovely touch from Maradona, who's there again. And the whistle has gone. It's such an absorbing game. You would never say with Juventus that it would be the end of an era if they weren't to win the championship. They didn't win it a couple of years ago when Verona came from nowhere. But Napoli, if they can keep Maradona, although he was in danger of being caught then by Mauro, but Napoli look built to last. Carnevale's shot blocked. De Napoli was another sensible acquisition in the close season. Romano came actually during the season. And where will Platini be next season? Caricola and Rino Marchesi on his feet. With some justification, Renica was very late. Renica has his name taken. Juventus still trying to stir the spirit to pull back a second time. Vignola with the free kick. That came off Maradona, who may not be of the best use to Napoli back there. He's jumping again and beaten again by Briaschi, but there was an offside. And in taking the free kick too quickly, they've given it to Platini. Caricola. Time for Garella to calm things down. Carnevale's flick. And Chirea and Fabro almost getting in each other's way. Briaschi, Pioli, Vignola, Briaschi, the two substitutes combining, one back by De Napoli, and that should be the goalkeepers. Napoli was second in 1968, second in 1975. If it stays this way here, it's looking very rosy indeed for a first title in 1987. Paul Pacina can give them the cushion here, perhaps, of setting up another. Maradona! If it had gone either side of Tacconi, he wouldn't have had an earthly chance of saving it. Paul Pacina did brilliantly, so too did Maradona, torpedoing in, and Tacconi with outstanding reflexes. Mauro and Garella just did enough. They were coming in droves at the far post, were Juventus. And Garella flicked it away for the corner. The goalkeeper stays on his line. Mauro allowed to reach it by Volpacina. More recently, Napoli, under the coaching of Rino Marchesi, in fact, finished third in 1981. Marchesi had 4 seasons here, but his present team now are being threatened by another Napoli break. Tacconi wasting no time, and Romano tracking back. But his goal is still the decisive one. And Romano is there again. "26 years old, he's played in the Olympic team for Italy, but there's a strong feeling that he'll soon be in the full international side. It's not over yet, though, for Napoli. Serena, then De Napoli's header, and that was a brave one by Volpacina, recognised by the crowd. Foul by Serena. But another superbly struck dead ball by Mauro that had the goalkeeper backpedaling. But no luck for Juventus as Serena knocked it back. Napoli can celebrate a marvellous victory in a tremendous contest. Juventus came out like champions in the second half. Serena equalising Renica's early goal. But Francesco Romano will make the headlines. And who would bet now against Napoli taking the title from Juventus?